Thank you for calling Amala Rose's Locs Salon. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm looking to book an appointment for a retightening.
Sure, I can help you with that.
Thank you.
So you're ready to book that retightening appointment? Well, there are some questions that you might want to ask while booking that appointment. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to be talking about or mentioning some questions that you might want to ask when booking that retightening appointment. Alright, so let's get into the video. Alright, so when booking that retightening appointment, there are some things that you want to bear in mind, especially to get as much information to know if the loctician you're calling is the right fit for what you're looking for in terms of your retightening hair care. So from experience, there's some questions I know I would have loved to personally ask before showing up, because when I went in, there were some of your methods or approaches and certain things that really sit well with me. But yeah, so I am going to be sharing some of the questions that I believe that you should probably ask when booking that retightening appointment. Now, the first question, which is like fundamental, is how much is your rate? How much do you charge? Do you charge an hourly rate or do you charge a fixed amount? I've never come across anyone charging a fixed amount as yet, but you never know, right? You just want to dot your I's and cross your T's just to make sure that you have the right information in terms of money, the cha-ching, so that you don't show up and you're either not prepared for what they say to you in terms of the rate and whatnot. So yeah, so the first question that you should be asking when you call to show interest in booking that retightening appointment is, what is your rate? Is it hourly or is it a fixed rate? So having that information will better prepare you when you show up, and also to help you make that decision if you want to go ahead with that appointment or not. The next question that you might want to ask is, how do you accept payments? People have a preference as to how they would like to receive payments from you for services that they render. Some people prefer to just take cash, some people prefer to take something through electronically, or some people just prefer to come in and pay with your card. Well, so knowing what your loctician or the establishment where you're going to for your retightening would prefer, how they like to receive your payment, is very important to make sure that if it's cash, you have enough cash at hand. If it's electronic, you have funds wherever the account needs to be to make that payment to them. So yeah, that's to me, I feel that's an important question that you might want to ask. How do you accept payments to make sure that it's compatible with the way that you were able to provide that cash or provide the payment, so that you're not caught unawares when you show up and they tell you, oh, we only take cash, and then you don't have any cash on you and there's no ATM around you. Then you are like scrambling to figure out how you're going to pay these guys. Yeah, so that's very important. I think it's an important question to ask when you're booking that retightening appointment. Another question that I believe is important to ask when you are booking that retightening appointment is asking them, do you prefer to wash my hair, or can I come with my hair already washed? I wash my hair myself. I prefer to do that. I'm comfortable to do that. But I have been to an establishment for my retightening and they had preferred that they're the ones that wash my hair, because their reasoning was for hygiene purposes. And I think you can understand that reason in terms of they would like to be the ones to wash my hair to ensure that it's washed the way that they're comfortable to touch my hair, I'm guessing. So for hygiene purposes, because when you're retightening someone's hair, I guess their hands are kind of bare and they're using their tools to retighten, touch your scalp and whatnot. So for hygiene purposes, or I think more so for their peace of mind, they want to know that the hair has been washed properly to the point where they're comfortable touching it, So I guess I can understand that reasoning. And hey, I guess it's their business, right? So it's up to you. If you're comfortable with their method, if you're comfortable with it, then you go for their services or not, right? So that's a good question to ask. Do you want me to come with my hair already washed, or would you prefer that I wash it? And then if it becomes some kind of mandatory thing where they have to be the ones to wash your hair and it's an additional charge, then you have to account for that. You have to take that into consideration. Is that amount that they're charging, is it worth it? Like for me overall, in the overall scheme of things, because there's the charge for the wash and then there's a charge for the retightening. So the final charge, is it worth it? Do I show up still? Do I want to go? So you figure all those things out by asking those questions. So yeah, so one of the other questions, yes, I do recommend asking is, can I wash my hair myself before the appointment, or do you have to wash my hair? And if so, what is the fee? What is the charge like? So that's an important question so that you can have enough information to make your decision in going with that establishment. Another question that you might want to ask is this question is optional. This isn't a case in the scenario whereby you already have a permanent or more consistent loctician that you go to and you're changing up, you know, maybe your loctician is not available and then you have to use someone else's service and you want to maybe maintain the consistency in terms of the approach in how your locks are developing or in terms of retightening that you're already used to. You may want to ask this establishment that you're trying to book this appointment with, you may want to ask them, can you accommodate my preferred rotation? So if you have been growing your locks with using a particular type of rotation, maybe it's a 4-point rotation, you might want to ask them, can you accommodate that 4-point rotation? This is speaking from experience because I was at a different loctician for my hair retightening and I had asked her or asked them that I had a preferred or I have a rotation which was used to establish my locks, and that's what I've kept throughout my lock history. And they were like, we use a different tool and we have a different approach, or we have a particular approach when it comes to retightening. It may not be the same as what you are used to. And yeah, that's what they told me. And I went with them because I had to have my hair retightened. So you know what, I just went with their approach. And now after the retightening, when I felt my locks, it was definitely different from the previous retightening that I had done. So it felt thinner than how my previous locks would be more thicker for each lock after I'm done retightening. So there was definitely a difference. So you may want to bring that up or ask them, what is the rotation that your loctician uses? Or what rotation do you use for retightening services? And then based on that information, you might want to know, okay, do I want to go ahead with it? You don't really care, it's not really a priority to you. Then yeah, you might want to go ahead with that. Or you can just skip not asking this question at all. Or if it's something that you're a bit particular in terms of how your lock looks or how they grow out in terms when it's being retightened, then you may want to ask this question. Can you accommodate my preferred rotation, or what rotation approach do you use for your retightening services? So yeah, so I think it's an important question. I wish I had asked this question before. Now I don't know if some loctician, well, in my experience, when I asked this question to the loctician, she was a little bit hesitant in providing information, and I think it seemed to her as though I was a bit of a client that's a bit particular in my requests. I'm not sure if it sat well with her that I was asking that question. I think that establishment just more expected me to just sit down and have my hair retightened without really having questions or requests and whatnot, especially since I was just a first-time client. You know, I already had someone who was doing my locks and whatnot, and I just came for retightening. So I don't think they really wanted questions asked. But this is a question that I would have probably asked over the phone before heading in, and now I know for future, and I wanted to share that with you guys. You may want to ask this question when you are booking that appointment before you show up, you know, and then you just go with it or go with whatever that they give you. All right, so you just want to ask this question, or you might choose not to ask a question. It's up to you, you know. It depends on how they receive it, right? All right, so I think those are the major questions that I think that I would ask if I was booking that retightening appointment, or I recommend that you ask when booking your retightening appointment. Now guys, if you do have any other questions that you think that someone should ask when booking that retightening and based on the experience, please drop it down in the comments below. Please share it so that anyone that views this video can also see those comments and see those tips. And if you enjoyed this video or you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, comment, share the video. And I do have other videos with regards to my lock journey that you can check out, so please check them out. All right guys, well, I will see you all in my next video. And thank you for watching.